How's it
Hey
going?
there.
Hey, glad that you could join us.
Man, it is my privilege to join you. And social distancing, I think we want human interaction any way we can find it, don't we?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it looks like you are in Nexus co-work space right now. It's a little empty, I'm guessing these days, but it's good you're there.
Yeah, I am here, and it's ghost town. It's empty. Obviously, we're closed down for social distancing and the stay at home like everyone else. And I had to do a couple of video shots today for some other things we were doing, so I was on site. But it is very quiet around here right now.
Well, we're so glad you could join us. And I just shared with everyone, we're kicking off a new series called Nexus at Noon. And we're just taking about 10 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays to chat with different business leaders, nonprofit leaders, and just get their thoughts and inspiration during this time. And so we're so glad to kick off with this is Chris Brown. He's the founder of Nexus Project. And I'm just going to let him talk a little bit more about himself. So Chris, why don't you introduce yourself for people who haven't necessarily met you directly and talk about some of the organizations that you lead?
Yeah, thanks so much, Christine, and thanks for the opportunity. I think this is really smart, really cool what you're doing. Yeah, Chris, as she said, and Christine knows this, I'm super reluctant to wear the title founder because I think it makes me sound way more important than I am. And but the reality, I guess, is when I look in the rearview mirror, there are two organizations that I have been the founder for. So I reluctantly wear that title. But man, I never, I don't know what the story is for most people that start things, but I didn't just wake up dreaming or come out of high school dreaming about being a founder or starting things. Honestly, I was well into my journey and career and just found myself looking up at obstacles and seeing problems that I didn't know how to solve with my current reality and current resources. And on both occasions where we ended up starting something, it was really in a response to trying to solve a problem or to route around a roadblock. And so ended up founding Ridge Church, which is a local church in Charlotte. And we've been able to see a lot of growth and see a lot of amazing things happen and do a lot of good in our community. And then most recently founded the Nexus Project. Again, sometimes I just tell people I got here first and was surrounded by great people like yourself, Christine. I'm really excited about the Nexus Project. It's this beautiful idea of a collection of business leaders. Think entrepreneurs, those in the for-profit realm, those in the nonprofit realm. And the idea is, what if we could all come together and form community both for them, but then turn around and do good in the communities that we exist in and that we love. We know a lot of people, and I know you've seen this too, and a lot of people watching will resonate with this, but a lot of us want to do good. We want to do good with our lives. We want to do good with our organizations, but we just sometimes don't know how to start, so we never do. And so we said we want to provide goods and services that are meaningful to the community, create a community back to that community. It's beautiful because we have multiple organizations, both for-profit and nonprofit. There's entrepreneurs. We have Nexus Co-work. We have an event space that has indoor, outdoor space for concerts, all kinds of things. We have a cafe, collective cafe. We have a catering company, and then we have a church. And all of those together have come together, creating community. We all dream of our community being better, and so we're doing good. And so a portion of our revenues that come back in go right back out to support some local nonprofits, people that we think are doing amazing work and making this community better. And so that's really me, and that's Nexus, the Nexus Project in a nutshell.
That's great. And just to let people know that are watching, we're going to talk to a lot of those
Yeah.
partners throughout the series. So some of the people that we're working directly with, and we're excited to share that with everyone. So I had just a couple of questions for you. I mean, obviously we're in some times that many of us have, none of us have ever experienced a moment like this before. And to your point, it's so many of us can react different ways and really struggle with thinking about like how can we be helpful during this time. And what is your thought when you think about as we're sitting in a crisis, what is the view or the posture that you recommend that people take in a time like this?
Yeah, it's such a relevant question. I mean, we're probably all wrestling with it at some level. It's interesting. I think it's human nature. I know it happens for me, and I think it happens for all of us, Christine. I think when we're in crisis, be it one that's a global pandemic like the one we're in now, or a personal one, our natural human tendencies, I think we just turn inward, right? We go into self-protection mode. We protect us, and we protect those close to us and those whose names we know. And I just think it's kind of natural. And honestly, I think pain sometimes in crisis can make us a little bit selfish. We don't mean to be that way. And so I would encourage people, and this is the thing, I'm trying to live it out right now myself, and, all of us doing our best, right? So I'm not doing it perfectly either. But I would say one of the things is to intentionally focus outward, just recognize this gravitational pull to go inward in crisis and in pain, and go against the grain, swim upstream and say, you know what, I'm going to go outward. And here's the thing. It's not just healthy for others, the people that you're going outward. Like if you're going to go say, I'm going to find people to serve or love or maybe be kind to or generous to, it also is healthy for us. I think we're wired up to be able to look outward and give. That's a part of the way we're designed. And so I think it's healthy for other people. It's healthy for us. Now, figuring out how to do that may look different in everybody's context. But I would just say that's one simple thing in the midst of crisis is go, I don't know, how can I look outward, not just look at me and feel my own pain, but resonate with the pain of others and step into those spaces.
I think that's really great. I mean, just this idea of where your eyes focus and looking on what's around you, it gives you so much context and perspective when you do that. Um, the next question that I have for you is, the other thing that I find about this crisis is it's global.
Yeah.
And it can feel so overwhelming because there's so many people who are hurting either
Yeah.
financially or their health. And it's almost like there's so much need right now. How can just anything that I do really matter,
Yeah.
as one person or one individual or organization? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's real. Like either it's in our home, the realities of this, or we're one step removed from it, right? And sometimes we look up, and I know all of us experience this, and we just feel overwhelmed. You look around and go, there's so much need. Like where do I start? And can my little investment of time or energy or resources really make a difference? And I think at times we're all immobilized because you look and go, since I can't do everything for everyone, consequently what we end up doing is we're not doing anything for anyone. And so we actually bumped into this as an organization a few years back, and we found this really helpful. This phrase is not original to us. We borrowed it, but it was this idea of do for one what you wish you could do for all, or do for many. And that concept's really good. Okay, I can't do everything for everyone, right? But I can do something for someone.
Yeah.
Now, who are the someones that are close by? Who are the people that are around? Who are the one? What are the things that I'm passionate about, and do something for them? I'll give you a practical example of this. We have a community group of 4 couples that we spend time together, and we've done this over time as well, where we would gather together and do for one what we wish we could do for all, like pick a family and help. So I think that concept's good. You can't do everything for everyone, right? None of us
Yeah.
can, but you can do something for someone. So pick the someone, pick the someones, the group, the one organization, the one hospital, the one nurse that you can bring encouragement or hope to right now, and do that.
Yeah. What I think that's really good. I one just add on to that is I still think sometimes people go, but
Yeah.
I personally may not even be able to. I don't even think what I have can help one. So what would you recommend that we just think about in the context of that?
Yeah, you know what? I found myself there too many times where you're going, okay, now I've got my eyes up and see some needs, but I don't have the resources to really help. I think I would say this. I think I would say start with this question: what's breaking your heart? Again, that's not original to me either, but ask yourself what's the thing, like right now in either our current state or ongoing. What's the thing that breaks your heart? First, aim there. But then I would encourage you to pool your resources. And I kind of referenced this earlier. Man, there's something powerful when we come together aimed at a common thing. And so these couples that my wife and I spend time with, there's just 4 couples, but every year we rally together and we actually take care of some families for Christmas. Now, my family alone maybe could provide a meager Christmas, but when we all come together, and again, all our capacities are different too, right,
Right.
Christine? Like some have more, just the season of life or where they are. But when we come together, we've been able to do things like pay electric bills and keep people a roof over their head and then provide these amazing Christmas. That's something we could have never done as individuals. And so we have extrapolated that out. This is actually the way we think for the Nexus project. This is the way Ridge Church thinks. We say we've adopted at our church one Title I school. And we say, man, we have to say a lot of small no's so we can say a really big yes to them.
Yeah.
But we do this at Nexus as well. We would love to partner with 30 nonprofits, and maybe one day we will. But right now we have 3 that we think are doing amazing work. And we said, we're going to aim the time and collective resources of all of us together at that. And you actually start to move the dial, and it's really fun to watch and be a part of. So that's one thought. You'll figure out a way, and it may be maybe a book club, and maybe a group of people you play golf or tennis with. You know, who knows what the gathering is? We all have a group, but if you just said, "Hey, this thing's breaking my heart. What if we did this together?" You'd be amazed at what you can pool resources and do.
Yeah. Well, I think those are really great tips. We're coming up on our time, but just the last question is, I know specifically the organizations that you lead and some of the work that we're doing at Nexus, we have a way to encourage others to be a part of what you just said, how we can have a posture looking outward, how we can do for one and pool our resources together to be super impactful. Can you just talk about the vision of that? It's called the Forefront, and just fund and talk a little bit about how people could get involved if they'd like to.
Yeah, for sure. I think I would give a disclaimer on the front side, Christine, and just say man, if not this way, just find a way. I think it's healthy for you as much as it's healthy for the person on the other side that is the recipient. But find a way. And if this is not the thing or your thing, then find a thing. But what we did is at the beginning of this, as we could see it coming, we knew, again, this idea that our collective abilities and resources together could go a long way. And so right at the beginning of this pandemic, we created something called the Forefront for our Nexus community, for Ridge Church, for all those that are involved. And the idea with the Forefront was, what can we do that will help those that are in need, that are in crisis, relate either financial or physical or medical, like they have physical needs maybe. So how could we be in a space to help them? And then also, how could we help those that are helping them? So those that are on the front lines. And so this Forefront has done just that. We've had people from all over the city. We've actually had people from all over the country give to this. And so it's done really amazing things. We've been able to help local businesses. We've been able to help a local school. We've been able to help out a ton of individual families, everything from groceries to literally paying rent so people aren't evicted in this time. I mean, how tragic that would be. And so then we're also being able to provide meals for the local hospitals, for shift workers that might perhaps not be in an optimal time to normally have meals delivered. So we're doing that. We're doing handwritten thank you notes, and all that stuff's provided by the Forefront. So we'll drop a link or a way for you to give if you want to that. All of the proceeds go back to those that are in need and to those that also are helping those in need. But again, if that's not the way, find a way, man. We can really make a dent in this scene.
That's great. Well, thanks, Chris, for your time. And I know that people found your tips super valuable. We'll make sure that we post this so that you can all share it with your friends. We'll also post information about the Forefront. We thank everyone for just spending a little bit of time with us today. Thanks, Chris, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Christine. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.